We are live at the Hight Today show. Hello, guys. How's it going? Thanks for coming today.
Yeah, how you doing?
Thanks for having us, man.
I'm Victor Martinez. We have Matt on the mic tonight. All right. And introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Ricky Garza, founder of CannaLife Culture Co.
My name's Eric Sattler, co-founder, CannaLife Culture Co.
CannaLife Culture Co. The
Yes, sir.
CannaLife guys. Matt found y'all. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks
for
the
having
invite.
us.
Hell
Tell
yeah.
us about CannaLife Culture.
CannaLife Culture has come a long way, man. It started out as kind of like, just an idea for a lounge, to be honest. I wanted to bring people together, like create a community. We all have our own little networks and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's really more about just kind of bringing everybody to the one spot. Like he wouldn't have met you without, a process, right? We want to be that process. So it turned into an app. And so now it's, has its own legs. It's taking on its own kind of life here. And we're just kind of keeping the ship right, so.
That's right. We're gonna send that to Justin, actually. We got the CannaLife.
Yeah, CannaLifeCulture.co. Yeah, if you want to get on that website right there, you kind of see what we're about, kind of our message. We have some videos up there, the way the app looks, stuff like that. So,
and what can you do on the app?
You can do quite a bit of things. Right now, we have a free social media side of it. So, anybody that can really come in and,
Sorry,
just
guys.
No, it's okay. You can talk to like other people that are cannabis enthusiasts or businesses as well, because we have business profiles also, and mostly just a social media site now. We have live streaming, all the things that you're used to on a regular social media, but you can't really actually do on Instagram and stuff because of their privacy policy in terms of service, right? So being in the industry as long as I have been, I've been on the ground, talked to consumers, businesses. I knew that's what was up. That's what was needed. So the social media side of it is free right now on Apple Store, Google Play. Definitely check it out, CannaLife Culture. And the beyond that, we have other plans. But for right now, like I said, it's just the social media app that is only going to allow cannabis people to be a part of it. So
wow, all right. So they can talk to each other. They can post all their like weed.
Yeah.
All of our messages are
like
encrypted, stuff like that too. So
okay. So that's why I'm still learning about that. Like that's why people use Telegram. They're telling me
Telegram,
about.
WhatsApp. Yeah, Eric knows what's up too.
And so the idea there is that no one can see any of your messages.
Yeah. So the way that we have it set up is like right now you can, based off what kind of coding you have or whatever software, third-party software you use, you're able to actually like kind of have it as long as you want. So if you pay a certain amount of price or you code it in, you can have it for an eternity, right? Or you can have it where it disappears over a period of time, right? So that's how we have it set up right now, is where your messages will stay alive and open in the chat for 72 hours after somebody opens it. And then once they open it, after that 72 hours is gone, your messages go away. So there's really no trace of anything. You just kind of get in there and kind of have a conversation that you want right then and there. And then,
as opposed to the other apps that are storing it, and selling it,
doing what they do. Yeah.
Okay. And
exactly.
So, all right, this is much more secure and private.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so anyone who wants to come find you, CannaLife Culture Co.
Yep.
We got the site here, and then you could access all this on your phone too.
Yep. Phone.
Yep.
Laptop. What else you think? Eric, iPad, stuff like that.
Yeah, anywhere you can basically log into the web address. It presents itself.
And there was a video here that shows how the app works as well.
Yeah, if you scroll down a little bit down the page, like kind of midway, you'll be able to see a little screen with a play button on it to the left.
And on the app, so you get kicked off of like Instagram and Facebook for some weed stuff.
Yeah, basically.
I've had that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, have you ever tried to smoke weed or like do something along those lines? Instagram will immediately flag it, and it's not even people; it's an algorithm.
Yeah, and even to a certain extent, like on live streams or like paid, influencers or anybody who's a streamer or something.
That breaks their term of service.
Exactly. Right? We're actually encouraging it because that's what our community is based on. We're, as they would say, the niche community of cannabis, users, but at the same time, somebody who loves social media or who's an influencer who will get accommodated for the live streaming with, who smokes won't have to worry about.
Right.
So you guys live stream on there as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Live stream. Man. We got reels.
Yeah.
We even got a way to kind of bookmark your favorite posts and stuff like that too, bro. So like, you can do that on other apps, but in the cannabis industry, that's a little bit more valuable because say somebody wants to grow, somebody wants to learn how to extract, somebody has some information about something they came across on the actual like during the grow process or the harvesting process or something. You get to share knowledge and just that information on top of just entertaining each other, right? So you're out there, you're having fun, telling jokes, posting your memes, whatever. We got reactions just like everybody else. It's your typical social media platform. It's just literally dedicated to the cannabis community in every way, shape, or form.
And I had heard about like some other people trying to do something similar to that.
Right.
I had heard like, so that was one of the issues on YouTube. And then so that these guys came out with Weed Tube, but I don't know if that's still around anymore. Like I don't understand what issues they might be running into. What's it been like in the industry?
So honestly, man, I heard about Weed Tube as well. Their website's still out there, but I don't know who uses it anymore. Like it's really nothing at this point. The difference between us is that we actually have connections within the cannabis community as far as the industry and stuff. So like beyond the app, we want to do stuff in real life with it too. Where like, say we're hosting events and then we're like out there interviewing the people who were there, getting people involved and then immediately putting it on the app. Right. And then now these people get to see this and they're a part of it on the app, even though they couldn't make it. Right. And then the people who are on the app that are getting tagged in these posts, now they feel like they're really into the community. Now people are looking at me. They're making me an influencer, stuff like that. Right. And so you can do that with people, brands, whatever, man. And so like we kind of came up with this idea. It's like, well, why not just do it, and like make sure we can find these avenues. So that's where the social media app came. And then we're going to come with an exclusive content paywall where people can kind of get, revenue shares with us and stuff like that. And then a marketplace as well. So we have some other legs, so to speak, that are actually going to be different than these other apps like the Weed Tube and stuff like that that's come out. But overall, man, we're trying to just bring that content and that community to one spot, just like Weed Tube, but with more legs to it,
And y'all were already involved in the community before you started doing the online stuff.
Yep.
Is that how y'all met, like through weed or?
No, we've known each other since high school. Just, life always separates, and then we found our way back and started hustling and doing different things. I have a film production company myself, and so I was just like, hey, yo, let's have these ideas for these shows and these concepts, because I was building that catalog at the time. And so he had his app and everything. I was like, yo, let's just kind of like merge the two, come up with, this was like, Netflix was like popping and everything. Yep. And then COVID hit and then all this other stuff happens. And so like the demand for content was just, a necessity. And so I was like, well, I flew out he was out in Seattle at the time in Spokane. And I went out there and filmed the plants and, just the whole community, his whole day of work. Right. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, I think you can like pitch this stuff and make content and we can do different things. And so he's like, well, I got the app being built. Like, let's do this. And I was like, bet, well, let's merge what I know on how to, make revenue and stuff with film and all that. And he knew he had the app and everything and the cannabis side. And I was like, yo, it's a perfect way to just merge the two and let's see what we come up with. And everything else kind of just flourished from there.
Yep.
Wow. How long have I been doing this now?
The actual development of it has been around the 2.5 year marker. This is our 3rd year coming into it. And then the business concept from where I started the idea and I really, thank you. And I really brought like, the lounge and the app idea to life. It was more like 6 years ago. That's where I started writing my business plan, really trying to start doing it right. Cause I was in the cannabis industry, in Washington State. And that's really where I learned like a lot of my stuff.
You were always like a grower?
No, I wasn't a grower actually. I did account managing. So I started out as a bud tender. From bud tending, I went and I got medically certified through a dispensary called Cinder. They're out there in Spokane, Washington. Shout out to them. Really great company. They actually expanded out to New Mexico.
Bud tending was fun. I did a little bit of that,
fun, bro.
It's it's way different than being a bartender. I tell you, like you sit around watching these people get all fucked up, go home, throw up or whatever. Like, it's way different, like handing out a bowl, making sure these bongs are clean, and just like giving recommendations, like people looking for certain type of highs and whatnot. Right. Man, I love this industry, dude. That's so cool that you got to do that.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
How'd you get started like that?
I was actually working at Discount Tire doing sales, and then like I hated it. I was making great money, but I hated it, bro. Like I was not happy.
Selling tires is different than selling weed.
Way different. And then I just submitted my resumes to a bunch of dispensaries, and one of them called me back. And then from that point, I was like, I have a plan to work literally almost every job that I can, and I did, right. And so I did a whole bunch of shit, and yeah, man, that's how I got started. And then one of my homeboys that I was actually working with at the dispensary, he's like, hey man, there's a company called Hight who's on the farm production processing side. And he's like, I think you should try to get with him. I was like, cool. Got on doing harvest. And then after harvest, it was like packaging, gramming, you know, all this other shit. And then I became a driver because of my sales skills. And then like they were like, you're going to take over the eastern half of Washington State. And then I had like 200 accounts. I was account managing. Like it was fucking crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
no
man.
shit. You just built, and it's funny how like it doesn't feel like work whenever you
No.
put that in that context.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro.
You know, like you're learning how to farm like might not be that easy, but like when it's just all about weed, it all of a sudden makes it interesting. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, man. I agree. Like it didn't feel like it at all. It was just kind of like every day. I was telling him, I think we were talking yesterday, and I was like, dude, this is like a vibe when you walk into the farm. I miss that. Like when you walk into a garden, it's like those ladies are looking at you and you're like, oh yeah, like this is where I belong. It's just like a super chill. And even if you're having a bad day, it's like you go in there and it's like an energy shift. It's really crazy, man.
It feels like you're in a room full of people.
Yeah.
You know, like working with crowds, it's a very familiar feeling. I was in a room full of like Jeremy's farm with like a fresh crop. I was like, this is like a bunch of like, it's like they have their own energy or some shit.
Yeah, man.
It's the strangest thing. It's a real positive plant. But so cool. How long you been smoking?
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I mean, shit, how long you been smoking, E?
It's just like 17, 18.
Yeah.
17,
Yeah,
18,
about the same. Yeah, I started off, I smoked out of an apple pipe first.
Hey, old school.
Right? And it didn't work. So then I ate an edible and that shit, I was like, I made a firecracker. You get a whole eighth and you sprinkle it over like some whole fat peanut butter. And then you bake it. It tastes like shit. You put on some graham crackers and you bake it. But I was high. I could see behind my own head like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
For 8 hours.
Third person perspective.
Yeah, third person. Like I swear I could see like right back
He's just
here.
floating behind himself.
Like really well
like, bro,
edited
you're
Scorsese movie. Like I went to a buffet and like it was cut to like just perfect editing of all the food that I was eating and shit. Didn't even feel real.
That's awesome. Edibles are my favorite. That's why I'm like,
oh my goodness,
I'm like, fuck
dude.
yeah.
I can't do it anymore, man. I went over the edge on these fucking things.
They do get rowdy sometimes. You're like,
You forget.
fuck.
That's whenever you stop feeling the high, that's whenever you should be worried.
Exactly.
You're
in it, bro.
Yeah, it's like, oh no. It's like this, that's the point, is to feel something.
Yeah, bro.
And it's like you're not feeling it. That means that it's like you're like that all the time now.
Yeah, exactly, man.
And then all of a sudden feeling sober is kind of trippy.
Wait, is this why am I feeling right?
Yeah,
I'm a little more excited today.
I'll be in the store like, wow, these guys walk around like this all the time. Catch me sober on accident, you know?
Yeah. That's funny, man.
So, all right, y'all been doing this app a couple years now. What's going to come next? Y'all do events as well?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I want to get us like on the, get our the Hight Tonight show, doing some posts on there.
Fuck yeah.
Well, like who do y'all work with now?
Right now we're actually, consulting and brokering for a farm out in Ghana, Africa. We kind of, like I said, we have an umbrella company, and then the app is just kind of like a vehicle for us to kind of facilitate a lot of the things we're doing. But what we're doing is we got some genetics from the United Kingdom. Shout out to Sensible Seeds. They're going to be making their way down to Ghana so that they can start doing some hemp farming on an industrial scale. And then also they want to do some medical cannabis as well. So we got some genetics from them. We were talking to Compound Genetics as well. We had a meeting just last week and they want to be a part of it in some way. So we're really trying to make some connections, real life connections, like I said. Just so that we can kind of stand on that, and say like, hey, look, this is what we did on our own. That's CannaLife. So, we're branching out into that consulting, brokering, kind of bridging the gap for people. Oh. And then there's also, like we said, the events. Envy's going to be on the media side of things. You can go ahead and kind of talk more about that right there.
Yes, just partnering up with different brands and, partners that we initially start to work with, and then helping them develop their content side, whether it be any kind of shows or recapping events or anything like that they're looking for content creation. They want to get into our paywall with us and do that. Something like y'all will, hey, we have a show idea, we just don't have a place to put it to monetize. that's where we would go like, hey, yeah, we got our community. Come on over. You know what I'm saying? It's just that similar thing. We're not like, the thing I loved about it is like, we're not like a competition to nobody. We're just a place that, like a YouTube. Everybody goes there. You know, every brand's there. It doesn't matter. You just dedicate it to your people, right? And so that's kind of like how we see like the content side of things, like the Twitch, the YouTube merger, kind of something like that, where people are able to just do whatever the hell they want. But of course, there's like rules and, you know, like guides that we have to follow. And then just basic, you know, common sense of like what not to do on a stream and stuff. Like, but as far as like cannabis and gaming and streaming, or you want to do a talk show live on our stream event, whatever, that's all fine. Like that's what we want to be open to. So we kind of want to bring this side of like the YouTube, the Twitch world, mix it with the cannabis world, but in our own little way. And I think that's like, there's secret things inside of there that make it unique. And that's what we're focusing on. So at that point, like that's where we're in the development of right now. And that's what the exciting part of all this like content and stuff that we create.
We have those designed already though, by the way, like the marketplace and the exclusive content paywall. We already have the designs ready for the UI and the UX. Now the next step would be that development that he's talking about. So like we actually getting it coded out and added to the app, you know, but we want to do it as we scale. Yeah. The cool thing is like we trademarked everything. That's why we went to the proper channels to make sure that like what we were going to do is fine. And like some of the laws, I obviously are like, well, you can't sell weed. You can't do that. Well, we can't sell THC, right? Activated, right? THC. But you can sell other products. And that kind of leans into like bringing people in and saying, hey, look, like we know that you have your website that you sell hemp, or we know that you have your website that you sell your ancillary products. Like this is where it comes in. Oh, by the way, you can actually join on the media side of things where we're going to be able to market you. We're going to be able to bring you to the consumer. You know, we're going to do things. We want to come out to your farm. We want, you know, there's like a whole 9 yards that goes behind it, and you just kind of have to structure it. And cool thing is we did, you know, so like, you know, we're pretty hyped about that shit, man.
So what got you started in the media side of the things?
I've been at film since I was younger. We had a music group a long time ago. And so like I was producing for a lot of these guys and building their graphics, building their websites, you know, typical computer guy stuff, you know. So, I just one day just bought a camera. Like, well, I had this little 10-second camera that I would just make little clips and just create slideshows on, I think movie magic or something back on Windows PC or XP, whatever. And so ever since then, man, we've just been filming music videos, and then documentaries, short films, and then started working with a broad production company that was actually working with like Netflix and Hulu and Roku and all these people directly. So I learned like the business side. I was there to film, but the guy that I was working with, he's like really heavy in the industry. So he kind of like mentored me on like the business side of making money, right? With what we do with film and stuff. And so just learning the ins and outs and that, and kind of just saw where I can brought it to this. And then that's kind of like where we're at now. Like I said, it's just using these little unique movements that we have and that I've learned over the time, and trying to scale my side one, but definitely like scale it all together.
And you're doing it for yourself now.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, you're doing it for us, you know, like, but yeah, I'm full-time video, you know, myself. I have my Envision Films. That's my own personal thing. You know, that right there has its own legs and movements every day. But like I said, like when we came onto this, there's like such a bigger picture of like the Ghana project, like documenting that and creating that as like a series and a content piece. Like,
what are you guys doing over there?
So a close friend of mine named Glenn, he actually is got tapped to be the CEO of a company out there in Ghana. So long story short, man, he went out there last week. He had a whole week out there with the kings and the tribe that he was going to be having the land in. The cool thing is he's working with like members of parliament and stuff like that who are going to help facilitate a lot of these things. I don't want to kind of get too deep into it, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to be a farm with a bunch of land, around 12,000 acres, believe it or not, which is unheard of. Shit. And so there's a really huge opportunity for people to be able to come out and, you know, do things like invest in it or be a part of it in some sort of collaboration. And so what CannaLife's, you know, role is like I said, we brought the genetics to this actual farm. Not only that, we got them in touch with a lot of engineers and people that are going to be able to help bring the projects to life, right? So like, you know, when you're tapped as a CEO, you're going to do some of the work, but you're not going to do all of it. You're going to have to get some help, right? So that's where all this comes in. So we're able to help facilitate that. You know, we're helping out a friend. We're helping out another company who's going to make a lot of money off of this too. So now everybody's winning, right? And that's kind of what the whole point of what we're doing is, you know, in every way. The media side of things, the marketplace side of things, the social media side of things, it all so everybody can win, man.
How'd you find out about what? So have you been out to Ghana?
No.
Okay, so you just provided them the genetics, and like they were looking. Are they already doing farms out there?
So the cool thing is Ghana just recently legalized. So like this was within the last like 6 months or so, right? And it's funny because throughout this process, I've actually kind of like made contacts from around the world in different areas like Australia, Brazil, Costa Rica, Portugal, and all these places have cannabis. Maybe not fully legal, but they're allowing research. You know, they're allowing actually some legal and decriminalization in other areas like Colombia and stuff like that, right? And so when you start talking to these people, they all want the same thing. And it's like trying to get to a place that's emerging, like an emerging market. And Ghana happens to be that right now. Really, Africa in general, when you look at geopolitics, is like the spot right now. But since we have a spot in Ghana, it's like, okay. And it just so happens it's one of my really close friends who's the CEO of this company. And so I helped him and his founder, and I'm like, I got you, you know, like you go to Ghana, you make the contacts, you do what you need to do because you already have them. And then from that point, let me do the legwork behind you guys and we'll kind of put that together. You know what I mean? So they were able to bridge the relationships. I brought the relationships from the business side and now they're talking and it's their thing. I just step back as CannaLife and I say, hey, we have a media side of things. We're going to come out and document this for you guys. Let us know. Groundbreaking is supposed to be around March 1st. And so, you know, like we're definitely going to be out there. Like I already told them, I'm like, you better let your family know. Like if they want to come, they can come too. It don't matter. So like around March, we're going to be out there documenting this stuff, watching them actually put the seeds that we help and the materials that they built their greenhouses with, these modules that they're talking, man, it's awesome, man. And I wish I could get into like the actual things that they say, but it's not my project personally. So I don't want to overstep any boundaries, but the good thing is that a huge farm is about to pop off in Ghana and a lot of people have an opportunity there.
That's cool that you guys helped put that together. That's
it was
fucking
awesome,
badass.
Yeah.
CannaLife, huh?
CannaLife culture, baby.
I'm definitely gonna download the app, dude.
Most definitely, man.
So I don't know. Anything you guys want to talk about before we go though? I mean,
yeah, man. At the end of the day, when you get on the app, there's probably not going to be any content that you see right off the bat because you're not following anybody, right? Yeah. So if you get on there, follow Ricky G, follow CannaLife Culture, follow Eric Sattler, right? And those are the 3 profiles that you can find. We're following quite a few people, so we're liking and sharing all their stuff so other people can find it. And yeah, man, just you can create a business profile, you can create a like a regular profile, personal one, and from that point, you know, just start exploring the app and wait for the other stuff to get implemented.
And what do you see people posting now? Like
buds, flowers.
Yeah, buds, flower. People, my homeboy Paul just like posted him like ripping a bong and was like, hey, I'm the first live stream. So we have live streams that are saved. You can bookmark those and watch them anytime you want. So yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, man.
Yeah, people watching them, checking them out, making comments and whatnot on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got people like ripping bongs and showing their flowers.
Mm-hmm. And just regular posts too, you know?
Just saying what's up.
I post the games sometimes when I'm watching the games.
And just smoking, you know?
Just me smoking outside, just like, good morning, you know, what's up, world? Just typical social media stuff, just trying to build that habit of, you know, it's a new app, right? It's a new social media app. You're like, God damn, how many social media apps do I want to open? But building that familiarity, building that trust, building that community, building the content, building the entertainment, like keeping people there, like everything you can need can be here, right? Mm-hmm. We can't compete with Facebook, but we're not trying to. Like we're CannaLife. We're a whole different world. We're specific people. We're that. So that's what we're building. And we just want to show people like, just make it a habit. Like come post your daily smoke. Every time you smoke, get on CannaLife.
Get on CannaLife, live stream that shit. You know, post it, whatever you want to do. All that kind of stuff.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man.
Just like Instagram with the food. Remember for a while, it was just like you go eat, you post on Instagram, but you never post nothing else. And then all of a sudden it was like trips. Oh, let's make jokes. Oh, let's do. So it's like, you know, just slowly build that avalanche and just keep on going with the ball and until it gets bigger and shit. And that's what we plan on doing right now.
Yep.
What are you guys doing out here in Austin now?
Living here right now.
I live here. Yeah. Born and raised. Yeah.
Okay. So you were born and raised and then you were out. Where was it?
I was born here, but then I moved to Washington State, lived there for 10 years, Cali last 2 years. And then I've been back in Texas for about the last 3-4 months.
Yeah. What brought you out here?
My family's actually from here. My mom stays out here and stuff like that. And so I've been staying with her, helping her out and everything. And I'm actually going to try to make my way back to Washington and Cali, but we'll see what happens.
I know, right? It's been different.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, ever since like 2020 or so, it's like I feel like stuck here. I love it.
I know, dude.
There's no reason to leave, especially like this part right here, just in Austin. You know, it's really fucking easy. It's like it feels more comfortable smoking a blunt down 6th Street.
Right.
Like I've met people that are like, yeah, I was in Colorado. It didn't feel this free. You know,
That's sick.
I believe it. You know, it's true.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's cool like that. Up in Washington, it's kind of like that. If you've ever been, when you go out there, you can blaze in the public, and people are pretty socially acceptable, right? But down in Cali, I realized that it's kind of, you have to be discreet a little bit more, and it's like it's not as like free as they make it seem, you know, because you think that Cali's the spot when you think of weed, right?
Yeah,
but just a different thing, and they have a lot more outdoor farms, so their weed, to me, I'm like, you got to find the right brands that grow fire. You know, everybody else is kind of on that mid-Z level. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Do we want to go through the site a little and play some of your videos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man.
those?
Yeah, go ahead and click on that little play button at the top. Yeah. And then you can just kind of see this is what the homepage looks like. This will be your main feed, you know, and then you hit play and it'll kind of just roll through it.
Cool. At
the top, you'll see those reels. That's like regular reels, but we call them quick dabs now. That's what it looks like when you load it up. So it'll pop up, you know, regular, like I said, regular post. Like Eric,
that's Creek in the Cave too, right there.
This is actually footage from me and Eric that we put together on an edit. So this is real footage that we've that's us, you know. So yeah, man,
that was his daily life. So like, why wouldn't I want to go cover that? You know,
Yeah,
the average person here from a legal state, you don't get that. You don't really like submerge in that world. You're just like, oh, it's farms. You walk through and you see some weed, and like, no, you see the process, the fucking squishing, the heat, the freezing, the water that gets filled. Like, you get to see all of that, and that to me was like entertainment value. Like, why not? You know,
we see a lot of these people like Weed Kid and all these stuff that popped up on Vice. You know what I mean? That's cool, but it doesn't. To me, it's more of a controlled environment. It doesn't actually show what happens in the real weed industry, you know, where people are grinding, people are struggling sometimes, and a lot of times really, you know, and they got to try to find that lane to try to make some money some other way or really get them their brand out there because they can't on such a small scale because there's so much deep pockets in other ways, right? So that's where we come in. We come in and we help these people do the same thing, you know? So it's really cool, man. Kind of a lot like what your podcast is doing. You know, you're giving people a platform to be able to, you know, put their name out there and stuff. And we're appreciative of that. So why not bring something bigger where you and others like you or anybody else can really do the same, you know? And that's really the goal. It's like everybody has an opportunity. You just got to put that work in like we all know, you know? So
yeah, if every viewer was ours like a smoker, they all fit for your theme of your show. So it's like, you know, that's what we want. Like, we want a safe space, a fucking comfortable space to just fucking talk shit, smoke some weed, do a dab, talk about everything,
promote
weed
some
and
business, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah. What is that? Is there another one?
Yeah, no. So this right here, building a community. That's pretty much what we've been talking about this entire time. You know,
we want to at an event somewhere. What was that?
Yeah, so actually that was an event that we worked at the very top left. That was Cinder. That was one of the brands. And then at these events right there, there's a lot of other vendors that are like around the wall. And so you can kind of see that there's multiple vendors. People can come in, actually smoke, do their thing. And it's like, the cool thing is like, there's really no weed sales there. Everybody who comes there comes to smoke out and give information, you know? So like you're leaving blazed, and sometimes you'll get some gifts here and there, whatever, right? That's cool. But the whole point is to network and community, like bond basically, you know?
And educate.
Exactly. And then that middle picture right there that says drugs at the top, that was actually me taking one at this vendor day that I had when I worked for Bodie High. That was at Uncle Ike's in Seattle. If you get out there, it's a really great shop. They have some around town. But this was their downtown location. And like, man, I'm telling you, we were packed that day. Everybody knew that we were going to be out there. We were hype, you know, we were helping the brand. So it was really cool when I was out there in Washington State. So yeah, man, those are some really great brands that you need to check out. And then we have other connections like that in different areas like Colorado, California, down in Florida, Michigan, stuff like that. And obviously Ghana, UK, South Africa, and like some other places that we have internationally.
Okay. Y'all gonna do any events here in Austin?
We're definitely trying to, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to get Texas Original to do an event, right? I really wanted to do something with them because I'm like, you guys are the biggest down here, so like y'all need to start doing it right for the community. And I've reached out. The people at the actual dispensary were like cool as fuck, and like they were like, yeah, we're down. We want to do this. And then the other people that are higher than them haven't really gotten back to me, right? And so it's been a process to try to get them on board. But I know that if we can kind of connect that dot right there, that'll open the door for people like you to have the interviews with them, and like others that are going to be able to utilize, the community for them. Cause like they need to be the front runners, right? They're the big guys. They need to do it right. And so, yeah, man, we're definitely trying to do events down here. He knows some people that do some pop-ups and stuff like that around that are for the local community. Shout out to Texas Smoke Connection, and
High Flyers Club.
Yeah, High Flyers Club. So, you definitely want to, check them out here in Austin as well. They got a pretty good spot. And then, anybody else that wants to work with us, we can connect that and make sure that we pop it off right.
Oh, okay, great, man. Well, yeah, because, other than the podcast, we do the Hight Tonight show every last Wednesday here at the Creek in the Cave. And so we have our vendors come out, anyone who was sponsoring us. And we'd love to have you guys. I don't know if you have seen us live here.
Yeah, we came out to the show. Matt invited us.
Okay, awesome. What'd you think of the last one?
It was dope, man. I liked it. I loved how y'all had the setup too. Like, the whole like vendors in the back and stuff was awesome. Like it's and there was a bunch of people that I didn't even expect, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I came here not with no expectation, and it was sure enough like a lot of support. Y'all did really great. The show was awesome. Y'all had some funny people on there. You killed it, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we complimented. I was
it was nice.
Out of everything like that we saw, I was like, like production value. There was production, right? It wasn't just like coming up there doing a fucking thing and just having people like you led the way. Y'all had like a good format to the show. It was spaced out good. But no, it was there. And I think a lot of people missed those little small details.
Right.
And like, that's why I was telling him, I was like, that was great. It was like, exactly what you needed to do.
We had fun, man. We had fun.
That's good to hear, man. Yeah, if you guys ever want to be involved in any way, I'd love to hear any fucking insight. That's what we were telling Justin too. It's like these things come together just by people like seeing what we're trying to do, and like I always take any pointers at all, or anyone ever trying to get involved in any way. I was like more than open to it. That's the way things get done.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
That's why I love what you guys are doing, man. Thanks again for coming out.
Yeah, thanks to you too, bro. And thanks to you too, Matt.
Yeah,
it was awesome, man.
Anything before we go?
If y'all, I guess we want to do the ad reels, like a 1 to 2 minute, just like pitch,
Okay.
It's right into that camera, I suppose, and then
knock it out.
Yeah, and then we'll take some photos before we go.
Yeah, we'll take some pics.
Cool. Yeah, man. So Ricky G, CannaLife, Eric Sadler, CannaLife. Get on the app. You can download it on Apple. You can download it on any Google Play. So any kind of device that you have. You can even get it on the computer if you want. We're just trying to build a community for the cannabis culture. That's what we're about. Everything that we do is for the community. We want to serve that in every way. And so feel free to hit us up. You can get all of our handles. I'm ATX Made on Instagram, ATX_Made. Eric?
At Envision Films.
Yeah. And then we also have the CannaLife stuff. So CannaLifeCulture.co is pretty much everybody's, or every social media that we have out there. That's pretty much what it is. And then on Twitter, it's CannaLife Co. So definitely check it out, guys. We appreciate y'all. And, we look forward to kind of sharing some content with you guys and bringing some cool stuff.
And if you're interested in getting involved with CannaLife Culture Co., definitely get at us. We're looking for all opportunities, partnerships, investors. Show some love. What's up, man? We're trying to build this community.
Open all of that. So hit us up. We're here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. All righty. Have a good one. That's been the Hight Today show.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all.